and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. I picked up a few products this past weekend from the new brand Wyn Beauty, which is by Serena Williams. I wish now I'd picked up a few more things, but I'd wanted to definitely try the new skin tint, the concealer. Then I did pick up one of these lip and cheek products, so I'm going to be testing those out for you here on camera, so if that sounds interesting, let's go ahead and get started. I went ahead and applied some eyeshadow. I've just used this little single shadow from Ulta Beauty. This one is in the shade Roaring 20s. I've really just been into these one and done shadows, so this is the one that I'm wearing all over my eyes today. The mascara that I'm wearing is from Hard Candy. This is from their Girl Scout collection. This is just a brown mascara, which I really think this is one of the best mascaras I've ever used. I wish it was permanent, but unfortunately this is limited edition, so I really hate that, but it is such a pretty mascara. That's just one coat and it really lengthens your lashes, so I'm wearing that. I wish now that I had picked up the mascara from Wyn Beauty. They did have one, but because I have so many over there that I haven't even opened yet, I have a lot of mascaras that I picked up using my points on the Sephora app, so I didn't want to pick up a new mascara right now, at least not from this brand. I did open the tester while I was there, and it looks like it would be a very wet formula. I'm not sure though. And sometimes it's hard to tell when you're just looking at the one, but I would like to try that in the future, and I'd love to try more from this brand in the future. And then for primer, I picked up the new e.l.f. Stay Cool Primer Stick. I believe they just recently launched this. I'm not sure if they had a product like this before. I want to say it sounds familiar. I just put that all over my skin. I will say that this is probably a product that would be better put inside of a skincare fridge or something like that, because the first time I ever used it, it was very cooling on the skin, but today when I used it, it wasn't that cooling, so I think this is a product that would benefit from putting it in one of those. But I do like it. It feels nice on the skin. It easily glides, and I do like it. So I know the next time I use it, I'm going to stick it into the fridge for a little bit before I use it, so I can definitely take advantage of that cooling effect. Okay, the first product that I have right here is the Hydrating Skin Enhancing Tint, which has SPF 30. Mine is in the shade Decisive 60, and I love how the packaging is like the color of a tennis ball. When you open it up, it does have a pump on it, and it's one of those that has like a locking mechanism. But now I will say that it feels kind of finicky, because even when I have it on the lock side, if I press down on the pump, some still comes out. So I did want to make people aware of that. I don't know if I just got a defective one. I also noticed in the testers that they had at Ulta, some of them had the same issue where it felt like it didn't want to lock or open properly. Like either way, product would come out. So I don't know if that's just something that might happen with this product. It's not the biggest deal for me because I don't travel. This wouldn't be a product I'd travel with even if I did. I mean, I like it. I would have other products I would travel with that are more, friendlier for that kind of thing. But I did want to point that out in case it is an issue with these products, that I just find the little locking mechanism isn't really that great. But now I did wear this product yesterday because I didn't want to just go into this video blindly, and I tried it with a brush and a sponge. I found that it did better with the sponge, but I really think that it's going to do better with my hands. So I'm just going to put some in my hand. That's what it looks like right there. I'm going to apply this like I would a moisturizer. I think that that's going to be the best way to apply this, because I found that it really didn't want to sink into my skin when I applied it with the brush and the sponge. I felt like it was really sitting on top. But once I kind of used my fingers to go over certain areas, I felt like it looked absolutely amazing. It looks much better today when you just apply it with your hands, which I'm fine with that. That's kind of my preferred method. But I'm going with my little Real Technique sponge here. I've sprayed this with some setting spray. I'm just using the Milani Make It Last, which has the SPF, I think it's 30. The SPF 30 spray, and I'm just going to go over it. I do this with every foundation. Even if I apply it with my hands, I like to go back in over it with my sponge, kind of locking it down with my setting spray. And I found that when I wore this product yesterday, it looked so beautiful on the skin. It looked so nice. It didn't do anything weird throughout the day. I feel like it didn't fade or anything. I really did like it, but I will say that it's definitely one that you need to apply, or I feel like you should apply it with your hands. I just felt like with the brush and the sponge did better than the brush, but I felt like it was kind of sitting on top of my skin a little bit. So I find that really working the product in with your hands, it helps it. But after I noticed it was kind of sitting on top yesterday, once I did my hand and kind of blended in that part, it went in right easily. So did want to mention that. But now for me, I've actually been liking products where I can just throw them on with like a tinted moisturizer with my hands and it's just out the door. It's easy. But I know some people prefer, applying their products with a brush or a sponge, which I do understand that. But if you like applying products with your hands, I think you would really like this. And I'm going to come in close. I'm hoping you can see how this looks on the skin. It just looks like skin, just a lot more glowy. So all in all, I do really like this, and I picked the perfect shade for this. I believe this was described as a fair warm, which is perfect, so I think it's really pretty. And from what I saw, they had a really good shade range in this, so that was really nice to see. And then once I saw that this was a Leaping Bunny approved brand, I knew right then and there, yeah, I had to try it. And it looks so nice on the skin. Now the next product I picked up was the concealer, which this is the Soft Matte Creamy Concealer in the shade Make 15. Now I picked the wrong shade. This shade is way too light for me, and I don't like concealers that are too light for me. I personally don't like that brightening stuff under my eyes. On me, I always feel like it looks strange. I don't really like that part of it, and I will say that from when I used it yesterday, this did not offer a lot of coverage. So if coverage is something that you really want, I don't know if you're going to get it from this. This is more of a lightweight product, but it looked really beautiful on my under eyes. I didn't have it do anything strange or weird all day long, but it didn't really cover like the darkness that I have right here. But if that's not an issue for you, then you might really enjoy this. And I didn't feel like, even though it says soft matte, I did not feel like it was too drying for my under eyes, and I have very dry under eyes. I want a different shade in this because I did like it, but it is hard to tell sometimes when you have a shade that is too light or too dark. You know, I feel like with concealer, if you can't get it right, sometimes it's hard to judge the product, or at least that's the way I feel. But I do really like the formula of this, and I would definitely want to get it in another shade. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pair it with my under eye corrector, simply because that helps the shade, or I hope it will, because I didn't wear it with a corrector at all yesterday. I just wore it on its own. So I'm going to wear it with a corrector today, which is what I would always normally do, and we'll see if that kind of helps the shade a little bit. Also, I completely forgot to mention, I don't know if this is still going on, and I don't know if it was just an in-store thing, but when I purchased these products, they gave me this little bag that had like Wyn Beauty on it, which I thought this was just a really cute bag, and it's really nice quality. Like, I don't know if this is still going on, and I don't know if it's online too. If you spend so much with this brand, maybe you can get this bag. I'm not exactly sure, but I did think that was cute, so I wanted to mention it. It's probably not something I would keep, simply because I just don't really use makeup bags that much, and if I did, I'd probably go for one in a more neutral color, because I mean, so I'm going to apply my Cali Ray Under Eye Corrector. This one is in Cool Sunrise. I'm going to see if this will kind of help that shade a little bit, because this is a dark under eye corrector. And I'm going to hopefully see if this will make a difference. Okay, this brush right here is from e.l.f. This is just there. I think this is the Fluffy, Lord, I can't see that, Fluffy Eye Blender brush. So I'm going to just blend that out under my eye. This is such a good under eye corrector. The first time I used it a couple of times, I was saying, well, I just don't feel like it does enough for me. But I also feel like it's the shade. I do like the formula though, but I want to try a different shade. But I like it a lot more. The more I use it, the more I love it. All right, now we're going to go in with this concealer. And this, I don't know if it'll look like it on camera, because I know that sometimes you might consider that the lights can wash products out. So on camera, this might look like a perfect match for me, but in person, it was just way too bright for what I go for. I just much prefer a concealer that's my skin tone. I don't really like to do the brightening stuff, so this is not my favorite shade, but I'm going to apply it right in here too to kind of bring that brightness down, so it's not just under my eyes. I don't want it to look like I'm wearing, like I was out in the sun for a while and had sunglasses on, so I have that really stark bright under eye. I just don't like that look, not on me. But it blends out really easily, and I found that it looked nice. I did set it yesterday with powder, and I find that it looked so nice, and I think it looks a lot better today with that under eye corrector. I think that under eye corrector helped the shade. So definitely going forward, I would always pair it up with a under eye corrector, which is what I do anyway. But I just wanted to try it on its own yesterday just to see how it performed. And of course, I'm going to take my sponge and just very lightly go over that. This still has some setting spray still on it, so I find that that kind of just helps blend everything together even more nicely. Let me zoom you back in so you can see my under eyes. I just think that it looks really nice. It looks like skin. Like, that's the best way I could describe it. it just looks like skin, and I didn't have any issues with it yesterday. I really thought it was beautiful. So yeah, I do like it. And now that I've seen it with this under eye corrector, that helped the shade because it mixed in with this, and that helped the shade look more like my skin tone. So I do like that way better, but on its own, no, I didn't like this shade. Now, if I was to wear it on its own, I'd want a different shade, but like this, I like it way better. Okay, the next product I picked up is one of these little, I think they're called MVP, Most Versatile Pigment. These are for your cheeks and your lips, and I got the shade Soar. It is a really pretty shade. I'm going to swatch it in the back of my hand here, and it does come with like the little doe foot applicator. And these are incredibly pigmented. You do not need much at all with these. And what I like is this set down really nicely. It did not feel, you know, sticky or anything like that. I did apply it a little on the lips. I'm not a fan of using products like this on my lips when they're both like a cheek and lip. I usually prefer to keep these products on the cheeks, but I will show this on the lips. But now I don't like to apply it full swipe. It is an extremely pigmented product. So I took a brush yesterday and just kind of like blotted it out on my lips, which is what I'll do today to show you the color. But I do like this product, and I would definitely want more shades in it, but you do have to be very careful. But what I like to do is just kind of swipe it on my hand and then use my brush. Today I'm going to be using the angled blush from e.l.f. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my hand and then just pick some up with my brush, kind of spread out that pigment a little bit. And then we're going to go in, but it is very, very pretty. It's super pigmented. You do not need a lot. I didn't apply too much to my hand because I applied way too much yesterday. And I should have known that it was going to be very pigmented because I swatched a bunch of the shades in the store, and it's a really nice formula. I find that it just blends so easily. That's so pretty. This is a very pretty shade. Honestly, this might have been about the lightest shade, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but they were all pigmented. Like, I think every single shade in the range would work on anybody, no matter their skin tone. Whether you're fair all the way to a deep skin tone, I think that each shade would work. Just amp up the pigment because I did apply way too much yesterday. But what I did with it, I just went and applied it all the way across like this part to kind of make it look like that I've been in the sun. I got a little sunburn and it was perfect. This was a perfect shade for that type of look too. It's a very pretty shade and it just blends out so effortlessly. So stunning. It's such a pretty shade. I really do like these. I would want more shades in this. Okay, I just went in with the rest of my face right now. For bronzer, I actually had a new one that I picked up too. I didn't show it on cameras. I really just wanted this mostly to be about the Wyn Beauty. But this is from Physicians Formula. This is their Mineral Wear Diamond Bronzer. This one's in the shade Bronze Gem. It's a cream bronzer. I wasn't going to get this at first, but I did see another YouTuber that I watch apply it, and I thought that it looked really pretty on the skin, so I picked it up, and it is nice. I do really like it. I've used it a couple of times now, and I do think it's pretty. I think they have a deeper shade in this. I think there's only 2 shades though, so it's not really good of a shade range, but its formula is decent, so I just wanted to mention that right quick. For brow pencil and brow gel, I'm using 2 new ones here. This one's, the brow pencil is from CoverGirl. This is their Clean Fresh Brow Filler Pomade Pencil. Mine is in the shade Dark Brown. I do like this pencil. The only thing I don't like is the end here. It's like one of those little brush tip things, and I'm not a fan of those. I feel like it smears the product around and I don't like that, but I do like the pencil and it's a perfect shade. The brow gel, I mean, you know, it's decent, but it does not give me any hold. I can already see the brow hairs that I say that I like fluffed up here, they're gone. This is fine, it's okay, but it's not a favorite for sure. It doesn't hold these brows right here the way I want it to, so this definitely does not beat out my Refi, but I really don't think anything's gonna beat that one. But I wanted to give it a shot because I do like CoverGirl, and I like a lot of stuff from this Clean Fresh line, but the brow gel just is not a favorite for me. I personally, if you're looking for extreme hold, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're just looking for a casual hold, I think you'd really like it. And just for my powder, I just set it with the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Press Powder. This is just in the translucent shade. That's everything, so we're gonna move on to my lips. I'm gonna use this little thing. Now, I don't really like products like this on my lips, and this is a very pigmented formula, so I don't really want the full pigment on my lips, so this is what I did yesterday. I just took a little slight and then blotted it like that, and then I took a brush. This is a concealer brush from e.l.f. and then just blotted that around, and that's what I did right there. Now, of course, using it like that, it doesn't last very long on the lips, but I like it better that way. But going forward, I wouldn't wear this on my lips anyway. I don't think it's uncomfortable or nothing, but I just don't like using these 2-in-1 products like that. Really, It's fine. I think it's nice. I love the concept of products like that, but just for the most part, if it's for cheek and lips, I'm usually using it on the cheeks, but I do think these are really nice and I would definitely buy more shades, but I do think that's a pretty color on the lips. And if you wore it full on pigment, it would really probably be very stunning, but that's just not what I'm looking for personally. And there you have this full look right here. I really do like these products. I am so interested in trying more from Wyn Beauty. I was very impressed with the skin tint, the concealer. Just the shade wasn't my favorite, but now that I've paired it with my under eye corrector, it looks way better. And I love this blush product. It's so stunning. And I wish now I had picked up more from the brand. I know they have brow pencils, mascara, and there was bullet lipsticks, and I want to say like lip balm products too. I wish now I'd picked up a few more things, but these were the products that I was the most interested in. And I do want to try the mascara, but because I have so many, I said I'd wait. But all in all, I'm very impressed so far, so I'm really happy about that. It's always fun to try these new brands. I know that I see comments all the time on like pages like Trend Mood over on Instagram. People will be complaining about, we don't need any new makeup brands, we don't need any new ones, and maybe we don't, but I like trying new brands. I love it. I love seeing what they offer and how the products perform. I just love makeup in general, so I'm always up for trying something new. But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. And make sure you hit the bell notification so you are alerted to all of my future uploads, and follow me on Instagram over at jessicadeerly, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!